I just knew in my heart, I was like, God, I don't know if you're going to bless this like this. I was afraid to let him. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla, and I'm doing a series titled Let's Talk. Okay, in this Let's Talk series, we're going to be diving into different topics that I believe may be helpful to someone in that place on their journey. And the purpose of these videos is to do just that, to help them on their journey, okay, wherever they're at on their journey, to have a tool, a resource, some type of wisdom, or maybe just some new perspective that can help them navigate, okay, in that space. So that's what Let's Talk is. Me just sharing, right? Because if you don't have to go through it as much or as many steps, then let's shorten that, okay? So that's what this is, and I'm excited to do it. So today we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about, why am I thankful for my 15-year relationship ending? And I'm excited to talk about it. I am. It's a lot to unpack, but I'm going to try to do it in a short, concise way without being long-winded. But I do want to start off with saying, you know, me and my ex, we're in a good place. So this is not a bashing video. It's more so about me and my revelation of self and growth out of that relationship that I believe can be helpful to other women, okay? Especially young women too, but I'll get into that. So I met my ex, who's the father of my 2 children. I met him in high school. So, you know, that whole high school sweetheart thing definitely was in that box of that and felt that. And we were together for 15 years. So we went through high school together, met in 10th grade. And then, you know, just started going into adulthood. And then right before my 30th birthday, through COVID, the pandemic, we ended. Okay. So I'm just going to try to condense all of this. But why am I grateful for it? So I'm going to keep it on a high. I'm grateful because out of it, number one, it had led me closer to God. Okay. Through my relationship, it was a lot of ups and downs, right? And it was a lot of it was based off of me not having boundaries, me finding my identity in the high school sweetheart, or feeling like we've been in this so long, we got to keep it going, right? Or not having standards for myself, so I can't put it on him. It was a point where I didn't have certain boundaries in place because I literally, and I did a video that may or may not be posted before or after this, but it's going to be in the same series called Let's Talk Relationships, and that's what this video is, Let's Talk Relationships. But I had one of the things I had learned, and that's just going to be in that video, is that, you know, you got to let God in every area of your life. And in my relationship, I was like, that's one place I did not want to let God in after a point, because I felt like the way we were moving, I just knew in my heart, I was like, God, I don't know if you're going to bless this like this. I was afraid to let him in because I'm like, I just feel like you're going to pull the edges. You're going to pull the cord out. It's just going to be a done deal if I let you in here, right? But of course, that caused mayhem and chaos, all right? So I always use the analogy when I talk about it, like if I had to put it to like words, picture, I would say I felt like a bouncer at the door. Like, this is a private club and I'm just standing at the door like this, like, God, I love you, but can't come up in here. It's wild in here and I don't want to let it go, and I don't want you up in here. That's truly how I felt, right? So needless to say, that did not work, okay? So I'm just like, when you're in that place, when and you can actually identify that with like so many areas in your life, because it's like, what places are you just like intentionally like, God, you ain't coming up in here, finances, no, ain't happening. Oh, my home, not happening. The relationship, not happening. The job, not happening. We could go on and on, not happening. Oh, give it back, not happening, right? So it makes me laugh today. And at first I was like, dang, I didn't even put any eyeliner on. And I was like, what if I start crying? But what if? But it doesn't matter, because I am in a happy place. And that's why I wanted to do this video, because I am thankful. I'm thankful for the journey. I'm truly thankful. When you start to look at like different things that you go through, then you can then sometimes look in the posture of gratitude, because it's like, yeah, that was ugly, but, and that goes back to all things works together for the good of those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Okay, so those same tears that I once cried over not being in a good place, over the ending of our relationship, I now can look and rejoice, because it's like, no, God, I know you're working this all together for my good. Even being able to do this video, I'm grateful for this place to be able to look back and tell somebody. So number one, I'm grateful because it got me closer to God. When I realized that I wasn't letting God in my relationship, when I realized that, you know, the older I got, it's like your mind, your paradigm, the mind starts to shift, and you start to want different things. You start to realize different things. I remember, you know, my pastor asking, you know, just like, you know, like, what's the holdup? You know, he was like, you're like test driving. And it was like, me being test drove? You know, that just really sunk in. But it was true, because again, not having boundaries or having those important conversations, what do? Right? You end up in two different places. You end up with two different visions. And so it was a lot of self-work. But I'm grateful because out of that place birthed a place of me getting more into God. It birthed a place of me getting rooted into God and rooted into his purpose. In that place, I started realizing that I have purpose. Okay, so number two, I got closer to God. Two, I was able to identify I got purpose. I didn't know I had purpose. Okay, and it sounds so crazy, but it's like, how many of us identify like, no, you are here for a purpose, not just to be plugged into a system, not just to do whatever, no, not just to go day to day. You literally are here on assignment. So it's like, I heard Darius Daniels break it down, and it was like, which God had told me to study purpose, which I did, but I was praying for more revelation about it, because I'm like, there's something, because I'm like, God, what is my purpose? And I'm seeking you. And Darius Daniels broke it down so lovely. I'm going to link the video below. But what he was saying is, he said that, you know, your purpose is to do your God-given assignment, right? So it's like 3 levels to it, 3 different parts. So if I'm gonna recall it the way I know, okay? So we're here for a purpose, which is to carry out our assignments, right? So God gives us an assignment. Your purpose is to do the assignment. In the assignment, that's when you're called, right? So he calls you, you have your purpose, you're called. You do the assignment, and in the assignment you have a role. So it's like purpose, call, role, and it makes all the sense. And that's why it's like, I understood, like I had did a video a while back talking about the evolution of your purpose. And it's like, God, purpose, and it's like, I still don't know it all the way, but I know I have purpose. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, my relationship led me to figure out I do have purpose. I have purpose outside of this relationship. I have purpose. And now look, even in this hurt, I'm called to what? Release and help others heal, or help others identify and help others come to this new revelation of self. Even if it's not leaving, it's like, okay, even if I'm in this relationship still, I have to get some grounded, and I have to do some self-work to work through this, right? That's number 2. Number 3. Why am I thankful for this relationship ending? Because it gave me a sense of empowerment. After the relationship ended, it was like, I realized how much I was so used to being with someone. I didn't ever really sit by myself, right? And I lost myself. And people talk about that, we hear about it, but it's like, no, I realized, like, lost myself in this relationship. Like, it really was kind of really scary, because in that, okay, I had 2 kids, you know, went to college, 2 kids, you know, we're starting to build somewhat, right, of a but I'm not going to say somewhat, we were trying to build a foundation towards the longer goal of us and home life and everything, like having a family. So it's like, I just got lost in that box. And so, you know, coming out of that, it's like, wow, I have so much more to me. I have so many more sides to me. And I'm going to branch off, but it's going to make sense. That's why right now it's kind of hard for me to identify with certain titles, because it's like, I no longer want to be boxed in, you know. I don't want to be just just that. I don't want to be just this. It's like I'm still learning you. So it's like way more comfortable sometimes for me to be in something that's more freeing, where it's like I can explore. I can explore this. Like, for instance, with my business stuff. You know, as I was walking out different things in my business, and it was like, if I just felt like, oh, I have to be called just that, it's like, that just doesn't, like, okay, at a point I was pursuing coaching, but it's like, I'm more than coaching. Like, for instance, how does this fit? If I'm not a relationship coach, what would this be then if it doesn't fit in my umbrella? You don't understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I found that, and I became grateful, because it's like, no, you're learning you. You are journeying you. Here I am. I'm coming up on 32, Lord willing, in September 24th. Okay. I'll be 32. And it's like, wow, what does it feel like to be? To be and to know, and to sit with myself, be okay with myself, be okay being alone. And I value that. Oh, how do I value that? So it's like, out of that relationship, I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm grateful because now I'm able to take accountability in areas for myself. Like when it comes to someone else's actions impacting me, it's like I have the perspective. I've gained the perspective of, it's not about what they do. It's about what I accept or how I react. One or the other, or both, right? So it's like, if I don't have to accept that, then I'm not. Then typically the reaction won't even be nothing that I have to, you know, go back and think about. It's like, I don't accept that and I walk away from it, or I set the standard. But it's like, or if I'm choosing to react to it, what does that do? What does that look like? And I have to own that. Even though whatever you're choosing not to do and respond is a reaction. But for me, it's like, if I'm saying something or if I'm acting out of character, that weighs so heavy on me. So it's like, now I'm learning, like, okay, I don't have to go that route. And I can't make you respect me. I can't make you do anything. So it's just like learning standards. And then just also learning things about myself. Like, I didn't do certain things that were done, but I also had work to do. So when you stop pointing the finger and you look at accountability, it hits different. So accountability became very big coming out of that relationship. And I'm grateful because I even took it to the spiritual realm, where it's like, how can you grow? How can you turn away from sin if it's like you're always pointing a finger, or if you're always like, this, they did this, so I did that. No, stand on your own. What did you do? Because you didn't have to react. You didn't have to respond. It hits different. You see what I'm saying? So it just became very, very eye-opening. It became very eye-opening. So yeah, talking about empowerment afterwards. So after I got out of the relationship, I just felt very empowered. You know, that's when I really dived deep, really have went deep into my business and pursuing entrepreneurship. I was doing that already during COVID, the pandemic, but then I started going more once I had relocated, you know, to a new area right after. And then I started getting into entrepreneurship, which I'm doing a series on that, and just really exploring me and my interests and what do I like. And that was so empowering and freeing. I took a trip to Miami by myself, got on a plane, got a nice hotel. I said, I don't need a guy to give me a hotel. I don't have to wait in some relationship. Like, what do I like? Continue to do what I like, because that's what I like. That's what we did. It's like, okay, well, I like nice things. I like nice restaurants. Went to nice restaurants. I like the beach. I went to the beach. You know, I catered to me. I started dating me, worrying about me and what I like, and learning, is this what I want going forward? Just in some of the most intimate things of myself, right? And so, yeah, it's very empowering when you do it. And I'm going to close with this, but I probably should have led with this. So the plenty of other things I'm grateful for, but these are just like my major highlights and I'm going to close with it, is letting God in. I'm grateful I let him in, because once I did, he started to come in and heal. He started to come in and rebuild. He started to come in and just show me a greater level of myself, and ushering me into that divine placement, that growth. And so I'm so happy that things did play out the way it did, because it was certain things that I thought I wouldn't have been able to do. Like when I relocated here, I did not think that I was going to be able to afford certain stuff after my relationship. But when I leaned on God and I trusted God, honey, let me give you a little story time really quick in the story time. So when we had moved here, relocated here to North Carolina, here is North Carolina. When I relocated to North Carolina from Virginia, so there, me and my ex, we shared a place. I did not think, like, times where I wanted to kick him out, I felt like I couldn't. Like, we've been together since high school, built up that whole, for real, like, living together. My finances dependent upon, you know, his role and his actions in the household. And so I remember a time where I really did want to kick him out. I was emotionally settled with that. But then I felt trapped. I felt trapped by, can I make it if I let him out? And it was just a part of me that was scared and fearful. And so I stayed in that place. Excuse me, I stayed in that place of just being fearful, not knowing if I could do it. And the rent was expensive where we lived. And I was like, man, you know, looking at my checks, like, I can't afford all this, like, by myself. Like, what the world? And I have a good job, but it won't that good to cover that. So I thought, fast forward to North Carolina. God will bring it all back around, right? So he put me in the position because I was in a place now to be open to, I trust God. And you know what? God, you're going to make this happen. So fast forward, not in a relationship. Now I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I trust God. Lean on God. What I pay now is more than what I paid then. And I'm at the same job. Now I have had some adjustments, but not significant financially. But it's so funny because God makes a way to provide. Sometimes, well, I'm telling you, that kingdom math is different, because it's times where I look and I'm like, I don't know how all of this gets done. I don't. But when you lean on him, I'm telling you, he has a ram in the bush, and it's just like, this is what he needed from me. This is what he needs. So I always laugh that it's like I'm paying with the same job, not far from what I was making then, because it was like an adjustment, but not, again, not significant, which I am grateful for, but it was not significant. And y'all know cost of living has went all the way up. Okay, I was in a grocery store not a few months ago. Them eggs said $14, and I just couldn't even believe my eyes. I sent it to my friend 4 times the same day. Yes, the same friend. And I was like, I just can't believe these eggs is that much. Okay, $14. Like, what the world? So when inflation is real, okay? So even in inflation, God has provided. So I just gotta give him all the glory and all the praise, okay? Because that full circle moment for it to like come back, and it's like I'm now in this position where it's like, yeah, now trust me and watch, okay, and see, and you're good, and it's paid, and it's taken care of, and you can do it, and you're doing it through his grace. So that's what I wanted to share. I really wanted to lead with that because there was times where I thought about sharing that. But this is the Let's Talk series, okay? You don't want to miss it. You definitely want to get into Let's Talk. So make sure you're following my channel. I have a lot more videos coming for you. Right now, we're on the relationship portion of Let's Talk. So we're going to be going through. I'm going to have some tools for you. Hopefully this video enlightened you or empowered you or inspired you. That's the intentions of this, okay? I am intentional. When I do a video, it's always for something. I mean, it's not, no shade to nobody else. I can only speak for myself, okay? I intentionally release videos hoping to do encouragement, inspiration, or just leveling up of some type of knowledge, like that aha moment, right? Where it's like, dang, didn't even think about it like that. Because that's what I mean when God give it to me. I'm like, dang, didn't even think about it like that. All right, y'all, this video is long enough. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I love y'all.